Hey guys, Anya Farber here, your host of Zionist AF. And I just, today's not like a full episode with guests and everything, uh, but I felt like this was a good time to come on and share some things as opposed to just sharing them on Instagram or Facebook where there's, like the time limits and you want to make sure that you get everything said in a short amount of time. It's not always the case. It's not always so easy. So I'm sitting in the lobby of the hotel with some very loud music in the background, but can't be in my room because the housekeeping people are on my floor, and I don't want to make it harder than it already is. Um, so here we are. So today's the 6th, so August 6th, and I've now been in Israel well over a month. And, I'm getting messages from people that are like, why are you still there? Don't you know what's going on? No, I have no idea what's going on. Like, you know, it's it's so hard to kind of find the right words and to express myself. And I think I'm struggling right now with the fact that, we've got a lot going on right now. And I should have flown home on Friday, August 2nd, and landed at JFK August 2nd. Unfortunately, Delta decided that, it was just incapable of being professional, and it was incapable of telling the truth to the people who have paid for tickets. And, they would sell one lie after another, and rebook and promise, and, oh no, we're flying. And, you know, I, I think it's important to call this out for what it is, and it's bullshit. And what Delta did is worse than what United did, because United just said, well, we're canceling flights through the end of the month. Like, yeah, we're clearly scared, so we're going to cancel flights at the end of the month. Disappointed, United, but at least you made a decision. Whereas Delta was like lying to people. And I knew, because I had information from other people at Delta, that they indeed had no intention of rebooking and rescheduling flights. And my poor parents went absolutely out of their minds trying to get me on another Delta flight. And I get it. Like, no matter how old you are, your parents are always going to worry about you. And obviously this is, it's hard because I really want to be, home with my child and taking care of things that I have made prior commitments to. But I also want to be here because here's where I feel home. Been a lot of emotion this past month in general. Just Israel's still in a war. We still have over 115 souls unaccounted for. Yesterday I sat with an advocate for the hostage forums, and Noah. You'll see her on an upcoming podcast. She is so brave and amazing. But she's advocating for her best friend and his twin brother because we have no idea where they are. And just hearing about who they are as people was really emotional. And no one here has forgotten what happened, and no one here has forgotten about the hostages. But life does continue to roll forward, and I think this aspect of Israel, which some people just may not understand, is something to actually be admired. And even though many people have put their lives on hold in a way, or people have had their lives paused because they're reporting for Miluim, which is reserve duty, companies that are down employees because their employees are in reserve, or people who worked for a business that was destroyed, or people who still have no home to go to. And for over 10 months, over 300 days, there are still so many Israelis that are living in hotels and temporary apartments because they cannot go home because it's not safe or there's no home to go home to. I mean, communities like Kibbutzim, like Kfar Aza and Kibbutz Be'eri were just devastated. These were small communities of a little over 1,000 people, and what happened there was utterly disgusting. And this looming, what will Iran do? What will Hezbollah? What will Hamas? What will Al Qaeda? What will ISIS? What will the Houthis? All of them together, all terrorist monsters. What are they going to try to do next to Israel? And Israel is the only thing stopping these monsters from getting to the rest of the world. And I struggle sometimes when I'm here, not because I'm scared. I mean, I'm scared for the world. I'm scared for the world because there are people who are shouting that they are calling for worldwide intifada, though some of them are saying infitata. So, it just shows, how ignorance breeds hate. And, we're all to blame for that ignorance, honestly. Like, our school systems are not teaching kids about actual history or facts. And our mainstream media is not talking about the reality of the situation. And I struggle. And I struggle with, am I being heard? Am I being effective? Because I've committed, and I continue to commit to being this voice and showing the world the real people, the real places, the real culture, real way things are here in Israel. And I struggle because sometimes I just don't know if it's enough. But I will never stop. And I gain strength from my interactions almost daily, if not multiple times a day, with different people who are living here who are like, wait, what are you doing? Wait, seriously? Oh my God, thank you. Or that's amazing. Or you're a little crazy, but thank you. And I try to gain strength from that. And, recently as I'm, here in an unexpected capacity, I've had a chance to get to know some people a little bit better, and it's just amazing what happens if you sit down and talk to them, just find out about them, they're willing to share and how much they will genuinely understand you and want you to understand them. I just feel like maybe if we did more of that, then things would be a little bit better. And sometimes I bring you guys fun, silly stuff, and sometimes I bring really serious stuff, but I know that I need to keep going, and I want to say this for the record. I love my family very much, and I know that they're scared, but they're supporting me the best way that they know how. But I will not run, and I will not hide, because I'm proud to be Jewish. I'm very proud to be a Zionist, because I am Zionist AF. And I'm proud to have this opportunity to be here to prove to the world that Israel is an amazing place. And I don't know if I would be able to stay here if it were another place in the world, because people have gone out of their way to make me feel good about being here. And I mean, I have funny conversations that are surreal, like, oh, well, if you're in a hotel, don't worry, all the hotels have very nice safe rooms. I told my mom that joke yesterday, and I don't think she thought it was as funny as I did, but I mean, and where else in the world we have conversations with someone about like, oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely a great place to be. Just make sure we know where the bomb shelters are along the route, and it's just nonchalant way, and I don't think that it should be okay that Israelis have to think like that. I mean, I don't. It just baffles me that people don't seem to remember that first and foremost, Israel has been dealing with this situation for a very, very long time. October 7th was just the most recent of the terrorist attacks in Israel, definitely the most heinous. And since that day, rockets have never stopped being fired into Israel, whether it's the north, the south, the Gaza envelope, or whatever the case may be. Um, and I just hope that we do what we can to remember the reality and stand with Israel. And you have to remember this isn't about anti-Semitism. It's not about anti-Zionism. It's about a group of wretched, evil entities who are hell-bent on the destruction of people just because they exist. That is genocide. And they are trying to commit genocide. And FYI, guys, in America, you're who they're aiming for next. So, this is my unfiltered venting, letting you guys know that while I might be emotional, I am not scared. I am not afraid, and I'm not running, and I'm not hiding, and I'm proud. I'm really proud to be able to be here because I don't need to prove to anyone how I feel about Israel and why I want to live here all the time. But I am proud to have the opportunity to very visibly share what's going on. Like my Instagram post last night said, hey, I'm on Dizengoff just picking up dinner. And kind of like, I mean, Israelis eat a little bit later than Americans do, but I think it was almost 10 o'clock. And it was still happening. It was like Monday night. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk soon, guys. I'm Israel Fi. Stand with Israel, guys. There's just no other option.